We use forms and conventions of real media products in the opening of daisy chains, like having titles of those who are starring in it, also who it was directed and edited and produced by. We've tried to space these names out, trying to keep consistent timing, that way it flows better in our film. Also we have our production companies at the beginning, which is Serendipity Pictures and Unfortunate Productions, and this makes it more like a real media product. Also we end our film opening with a flashback sequence, which can be seen in a lot of TV shows and films, for example The Hangover. Ours is similar to The Hangover in the sense that we start ours with a phone call where it's the audience doesn't know what's happened, and then we go back 2 years to explain it, so this makes it more like a real media product. I think Film 4 is an ideal media institution to distribute our film opening, because it's of the same type of film that they usually distribute. For example, it's not a blockbuster or a Michael Bay action-packed $1 million grossing movie. They distribute films of ordinary people with like real life issues, day-to-day stuff, and our film is about a real life issue. It's not clouded by huge sets or thousands of extras that Hollywood movies are smothered in these days. So I think Film 4 Productions, they're responsible for quite gritty movies that use quite a lot of handheld as well, so I think Daisy Chains is well suited to Film 4. The ideal audience for our film opening would be 15 to 25-year-olds, because our film is a psychological thriller, which is defined as two or more characters preying upon one another's minds, either playing by deceptive games with the other or by merely trying to demolish the other's mental state. So that's the definition. And it appeals to this age group because they are closer to the age of our main character and can relate more to the pressures she believes she's under. Yeah. Also, our film is certified 15, so the minimum age for the film would have to be 15. By using a teenage girl, it goes against conventions of how a kidnapper is usually portrayed in the media. So this attracts the audience because it raises questions that ultimately need to be answered. Also, the phone call in the beginning is one-sided, so the audience can't hear who's on the other end, and what they are saying this By using a teenage girl, it goes against conventions of how a kidnapper is usually portrayed in the media. So this attracts the audience because it raises questions that ultimately need to be answered. Also, the phone call in the beginning is one-sided, so the audience can't hear who is on the other end and what they are saying. So this again attracts the audience. We address the audience by mirroring the audience's own emotions, probably not of kidnapping a 1-year-old, but the feelings of pressure and confusion at an age where it's so common to feel, but towards a topic that's very rare for someone so young. We address the audience by mirroring the audience's own emotions, probably not of kidnapping a 1-year-old, but the feeling of pressure and confusion at an age where it's so common to feel that way, but towards a topic that's very rare for someone so young. I've learnt quite a bit about technology. I hadn't worked with a Mac before, and I had no experience with editing and everything that comes with editing, like transitions and stuff. And I wasn't computer savvy. I could just about work a PC, so I've learned a lot about technology. For example, on iMovie, I know how to upload a video from like a memory card and get straight into editing it. I know, but whereas when we first started working on our film opening, I had no clue how to work the sound and put transitions in and cut bits and move it, but now I know how to do all of that. And also through editing you learn about continuity. So also keeping a blog has taught me about technology. It enabled me to collaborate well with Charlotte and share images and ideas. I also found that blogs are a good way to display your homework. So if you're given a piece, like a clip to analyse, instead of handing in a piece of paper with your analysis on and your teacher having to look through this clip, it's much easier just to go on your blog, go on the student's blog and see the clip with all your analysis on it. So I've learned a bit about technology. Looking back at the preliminary, we've learned a lot. For example, in our prelim, the rest of the class had to be on the other side of the room, but we somehow managed to get someone fully sitting down in our frame, who's not supposed to be in it. And I think you see our tripod in one of the shots at one point. So I think paying attention we've learned to do about what's going on in your shot. Also continuity. In our prelim it looks quite choppy because when a shot changes a character will be in a different position, and even if it's not that big of a change the audience still notices it. So I think we worked quite hard in our final film opening to make sure continuity was good. We learn it's always best to get more shots than you need. It's much better to have too many shots than not enough. Because if you don't have enough you're going to have to go out and film again, and that you may ruin your continuity. So it may be the clouds will be out on one day, so the lighting may change a little bit, or for us we had to go back and reshoot some stuff, but our actor had cut her hair, so luckily it wasn't that much of a difference. But if we had planned ahead better in the beginning we wouldn't have had to reshoot, but luckily it's not too noticeable. So I think we've learnt a lot in the progression from prelim to final film opening.